Today I'm sharing a quick review of the nonfiction New York Times bestseller Nuclear War by Annie Jacobsen. Now, it is shocking for me to share a recommendation for a nonfiction book because I love sticking to my normal romances and thrillers, but this is an absolute must read. I devoured it and I want to make sure that everyone else is going to read it too. Annie takes a realistic look at what will happen if our nuclear safeguards fail and one country decides to start a nuclear war. In this terrifyingly possible scenario, North Korea decides to send a nuclear missile toward the United States. Annie walks us through what would happen from the moment of launch in astonishing detail. She also walks us through the history of nuclear weapons up from the very first bomb that was built through current government's top secret policies and procedures as of 2024. I'm normally not a nonfiction reader, but she presents all of this information in such a compelling way that it felt like I was reading a thriller. It's obvious that she did an extraordinary amount of research, and there's proof that she spoke with top government officials and scientists that were involved with these programs. And using all of that information, she weaves together this story showing how all of humanity can potentially be wiped out in just a couple of hours. In her scenario, we tag along as the US is first warned about a nuclear threat, receives secondary confirmation, and then decides how to respond within the first couple of minutes. We're in the room with the president and his closest advisors as he is given all of this information and has to decide in a matter of minutes how to take action from here. Then we see the effects of the nuclear bomb as it hits the Pentagon and the unimaginable destruction that takes place from ground zero and miles out. In seconds, millions of people are suddenly dead or dying from the effects of the initial bomb. And in less than half an hour, nuclear war has begun, which will wipe out 80% of the entire world's population. Annie walks us through every step of this process, showcasing the terrifying effects of what will happen if our safeguard of deterrence fails at any point. Cannot recommend this book highly enough. It feels one of those that's just really important to read to truly understand the nature of our nuclear weapons and what can happen if something goes wrong. You will not be able to put this down.